Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Daily Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. Today, we're going to go through our live rates, and then we are going to talk about manufactured home loans. So, always a great topic to talk about here. We'll go through that in just a moment. Give us just a minute here to go live on all the different platforms. We do appreciate everybody tuning in nice and early. Go ahead and drop any comments you have there in the chat. Feel free to also drop any questions you have in the chat as we go through our deep dive here later today for manufactured homes. But it looks like we're live on all the different platforms, so we'll go ahead and get it started. We'll take the chat off the screen for now, but go ahead and keep dropping your comments there. Drop any questions you have there in the chat. And we'll go ahead and get it started. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So, welcome everyone. My name is Kyle Hershey. I'm the COO of the Mortgage Calculator, joined here by our president, Nick Hershey, and our sales manager, Jose Gonzalez. We are a lender that specializes in non-QM loans. And what we do every morning at 11 a.m. Eastern on this show is go through our actual live mortgage rates, and then we do a deep dive into a different loan type. Today's loan type is going to be manufactured home loan. So, Jose will pull up some examples of that here shortly, talk about what they are and also what manufactured homes aren't, right? Because there's some confusion on that at times. So, before we do that, we'll go ahead and do what we do every morning, which is pull up our rates. So, Nick, if you're ready, let's go ahead and see what the live rates are looking like here today.
All right. So before I start, we're always going to preface this that we're going to do a standard scenario here, not a manufactured home, obviously, that we'll compare across the different programs. That way we can compare the APR. So we do have new rates for today. It is July 8th, just after 11 a.m. Eastern. So all the initial rate sheets are live here for our standard programs. If you would like a full breakdown, an itemized loan estimate of all the fees that go into the APR, please get with one of our team members. They'd be happy to help you out. For the scenario today, we'll compare a single family home, not a manufactured home, at a $500,000 purchase, $400,000 loan amount. That corresponds to 80% loan to value, 20% down payment. We use an estimated 760 credit score for all the demos, and we'll use an estimated 40% debt to income ratio for all the demos. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and we'll see the pricing for today. Now, the first option we always want to look at is our 30-year fixed conventional for a primary home. This is what most people think of when they think of a mortgage loan. So our standard rates here for today, 6.49 rate, final APR, 6.802. Not much change since last week, just a touch lower, which is always great. Now, if for any reason our customer doesn't qualify for a conventional option, we typically want to present an FHA option. FHA programs allow more leniency on credit issues, as well as a higher debt to income ratio, but it does require upfront and yearly mortgage insurance. Rates for FHA come in today, 5.75. Final APR with all the fees comes in at 6.699. So notice if our customer qualifies for both, it could be a touch cheaper if they're willing to do the mortgage insurance that's required. And our customer that needs to use FHA, definitely great option as it is very comparable to conventional. Now moving on to our VA options. Those are only for our eligible vets and active service members. If you are eligible, these programs are amazing. Rates today for VA come in at 5.875. Final APR with all the fees, 6.195. So notice if we're comparing our vet to a FHA or conventional example, VA is always going to beat it. So definitely a great option for our eligible vets and service members. Now, the final agency government option that we have here that all banks or lenders usually have is a USDA option. USDA is only eligible for properties in USDA areas, the rural areas of the country typically. So if our property is eligible and our borrower is eligible, rates today for USDA come in at 5.75. And with all of the fees, APR comes in at 6.5. So usually our customers that are shopping in these USDA areas will be comparing an FHA, which USDA beats it out a little bit, as well as comparing against conventional, which USDA is a little bit better. So for those customers looking in those areas, definitely a great option. Now, if our customer doesn't qualify with any of these standard options, many other banks or lenders will have to deny them. But that's where we love to come up with our 5,000 additional options, starting here with our 30-year fixed non-QM option using alternative docs for a primary home. So if our borrower doesn't qualify for a conventional program using conventional documents, we can go with an alt doc option here, rates as low as 6.75. Final APR comes in at 7.062. So notice when we compare these side by side, the non-QM alt-doc option is within a half a point of conventional. So great option for our borrowers that need to use alternative docs. Now moving on to our investment options, tons of flexibility for investment properties, including our alt-doc options, bank statement or similar. Comes in today at 7.25 rate, final APR 7.589. We'll compare that to our other investment options. There are no government programs, so no USDA, VA, or FHA for investments, but we do have our 30-year fixed conventional option. So conventional comes in today, 7.25 rate. Final APR is 7.611. And that's a touch more expensive today, actually, than the non-QM options, which is amazing. That's why we love to do the show where we can see all the options. And we love to present our investors with our favorite options here, our DSCR options. DSCR stands for debt service coverage ratio. If the estimated rents from the appraisal can cover the expenses of the property, aka the property cash flows, that's a DSCR ratio over 1. For those programs with DSCR is used, we don't need any income or employment info. We simply use that DSCR ratio. For all the demos today, we put a DSCR ratio of 1.5 so we can see all the programs. Now, the first option here is the most standard option with a 3-year prepayment penalty, which is standard for DSCR. Rates come in today, 6.999. Final APR, 7.341. Pretty amazing there. It beats conventional. Now we can sweeten the deal even more, adding a 5-year prepayment penalty to some of our programs. Rates today for that come 6.75. Final APR is 7.072, which beats conventional substantially there. So great options. And the final option, some states don't allow a prepayment penalty and some investors don't want it. No problem. We have no prepayment penalty options. Rates as low as 7.5. Final APR 7.953. So very comparable to conventional. Typically recommend our investors check out the prepayment penalty options to sweeten the deal there. And the final two things we always go over in our live demo here. Very popular request these days for our customers to get cash out but not want to touch their first mortgage. To solve that problem, we have our 30-year fixed second mortgage options here. These are non-QM programs for a primary home. So since they're non-QM, we can even use bank statement options and similar. Rates come in today, 8.125. Final APR, 8.278. For our customers to still get cash out of their home without using a HELOC, which is typically higher rates, and variable using these 30-year fixed second mortgage options. And same option is available to investors, 30-year fixed second mortgage on an investment property. Again, non-QM program. We can even use bank statements. Comes in at 9.875. Final APR, 10.154 to get cash out of an investment property without touching that first mortgage or going into a HELOC, which are very seldom available for investment properties. I'm going to go ahead and switch the screen and get into today's deep dive topic. So since we can't do the live pricing demo for special properties, special property types such as manufactured homes, we don't get to do that in the live demo, but Jose has some specific examples for us today. But first, Jose, let's define manufactured home so everybody knows exactly what we're talking about here. You muted there, Jose?
Sorry about that. I was temporarily frozen there. So manufactured homes is very important that we understand first what a manufactured home is, right? A manufactured home is not a mobile home, right? Because very often we get inquiries from people saying, oh, can you finance a mobile home? And what they actually mean is a manufactured home. Right? They may, in some cases, look the same, but they are not the same. A mobile home is not permanently affixed to any land that is owned by the owner of the mobile home. Right? Mobile home usually sits in some kind of a park. I guess you'd call them a trailer park, right? And the owner of the mobile home pays lot rent. Right? And so it is not permanently affixed to any land that is owned by the mobile home owner. Now, once a mobile home is permanently affixed to the land and an affidavit of a fixture is issued, then the mobile home does transition to being a manufactured home. But it's very important that we understand manufactured homes also have certain requirements that need to be met. in order to be able to be financed. Basically, they have HUD decal plates, one on each end of the manufactured home, which usually comes to the site in two pieces, and it's put together. So each piece has a HUD decal plate, and then it also has a HUD data plate inside the home, somewhere inside the home. Now, those are documents or plates which verify the serial number and also verify that the manufactured home was built in accordance to the HUD requirements so that it can be financed. One other very important requirement of a manufactured home that in 99.99% of the loans, it can only be financed if it is sitting in the original location where it was installed. So if the manufactured home has been subsequently sold, someone else bought it and they put it on their piece of land, then it's not going to matter. Or if the same owners, turned around and moved it somewhere else, it's not going to be able to be financed by any of these options that I'm showing you today. Now, keep also note for the manufactured homes for investment purposes. There are a lot of restrictions on financing them, especially with the conventional loans and cash out refinances. For example, you cannot do a cash out refinance on a manufactured home if it is an investment property, if it's conventional, right? That's for that loan, which we do have options for here today. You have to go the non-QM route. So let me go ahead and share my options with you today. All right, so I'm going here for our lowest cost options, highest LTV options. First option here I'm showing is the Fannie Mae Home Ready Manufactured Home Advantage Purchase. Now, Home Ready is an affordable option for Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac has the Home Possible, which is the sister program of this, which is also an affordable option as long as the borrowers are at 80% or under the area median income, the HUD area median income, or if they're above the 80%, as long as the property is in a minority census tract or in a low to moderate income census tract, then you are able to finance with the Home Ready or Home Possible options, which do offer lower interest rates and lower mortgage insurance. Now for this option here, 7.124 is our lowest cost option at par. You can buy that down to 6.375 at a cost of 2.125, 3% down, 97% LTV. And now we have our regular Fannie Mae 5% down manufactured home advantage program. 7.375 is our lowest cost option at par, and you can buy that down to 6.375 at a cost of 2.5 points. I'm going to bring back a minute our affordable option here just so that refresh your memory. You can see right there 7.124 par, and in this option 7.375 par. So you're looking at approximately a 0.25% lower interest rate and 2% higher LTV for a manufactured home advantage Home Ready option. So now we have FHA 3% down. Now, great news, no loan level price adjustments with FHA for a manufactured home loan. 7.125 is our lowest cost option with a lender credit of 0.375, and you can buy it down all the way to 5.99% at a cost of 2.375%. And now our VA option. The VA loans are for our active military and retired military or veterans, and also for the spouses of deceased veterans, in case you guys were wondering. Again, no loan level price adjustments for a VA loan for a manufactured home. 7.25% is our lowest cost option at a cost of 0.199 points. And you can buy that down all the way to 6% at a cost of 2.699 points for our VA 100% financing manufactured home purchase. And great news, USDA also will finance manufactured homes at 100% LTV, no loan level price adjustments. This is a great combination because manufactured homes tend to be found more predominantly in more spread out areas. So definitely USDA would fit that profile because USDA properties are rural properties. 6.5% is our lowest cost option, and you can buy that down all the way to 6% at a cost of 2.125 points. And now, with a couple of interesting twists here, manufactured home bank statement option, right? Let's get some non-QM alt doc options here. Now, 70% LTV is the maximum LTV for a manufactured home bank statement alt doc option. And 8.25% is our lowest cost option at par. And you can buy that down all the way to 7.125% at a cost of 2.275 points. And this is the one you were waiting for right now. As we all know, manufactured homes tend to have a really good rate of return on your investment because the rents are going to be pretty high compared to the cost of the property. So they're definitely very popular with the investors, and they're even more popular when they find out that they can finance them with a DSCR loan, where you are only going to qualify the borrower on the gross rental income generated by the property, gross rental monthly income divided by the housing expense. So, and if you will note that you actually have a lower rate, 8.125 for this one than you did for the bank statement option, which is pretty cool. 8.125, and the bank statement option on top of that was primary. This is investment, same LTV, 70%. 8.125 is at par, 0 points, lowest cost option, and you can buy that down all the way to an amazing 6.75% interest rate at a cost of 3.15 points for our DSCR manufactured home purchase with 30% down. And a little bit more standard cash out here. FHA cash out refi, maximum 80%. That's across the board on all FHA loans, not because this is a manufactured home. And you're looking at 7% lowest cost option at par, and you can buy that down all the way to 5.875% for our FHA cash out refi. And that's at a cost of 2.25 points. And again, now this is interesting. This is not a typo. 70% LTV is the max LTV in the cash out refi for the DSCR manufactured home loan. 70% LTV also happened to be the maximum LTV for the purchase. So no changes there. And we're looking at 8.625 is our lowest cost option at par. And you can buy that down all the way to an amazing 6.875%. And our last option is the manufactured home conventional cash out refi. Now, this is for a primary residence because, as I mentioned before, there is not a cash out option that's applicable for a manufactured home investment for conventional. So this is for primary. 65% is the max LTV. So definitely does look like non-QM is going to be a better option for your manufactured home refinances. if you're looking for a rate, for an LTV higher than 65%, which most borrowers are. But in this case, if the 65% LTV fits your needs, 7.624 is the lowest cost option at par, and 6.624 is the lowest rate option at a cost of 2.125 points. So definitely look to the mortgage calculator for all your manufactured home loans, investment. Remember DSCR, high LTV cash outs going non-QM. We have many manufactured home options for you.
All right. Thank you, Jose. I do not see any questions here, but definitely good topic here for today. Yep, no questions. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Remember, we do this at 11 a.m. Eastern every weekday where we go through the live rates and then do a deep dive into a different loan type. So we will be back here tomorrow with a new topic. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, for the next episode of Daily Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator.